Sunday, September 2nd, 2018, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So Billy is here this afternoon. I've just come back from playing golf this morning. It's been a very nice day here in England, in London. Sunny, not very hot, light breeze. I try to ask Billy to caddy for me, but he didn't want to go. He was prepared to go, but he decided not to go. So what am I going to talk about this Sunday? Well, I want to talk about how the deep state, it doesn't matter if it's Republicans or Democrats, they're all intertwined, and why I think, you know, Trump could be for real. Trump he might have a connection to the deep state, but it's part of the deep state that hasn't been in charge for many, many decades. And I want to talk about an article I saw in Zero Hedge from yesterday. It says Russian oligarch and Putin pal admits to collusion, secret meetings. This is about Oleg Deripaska. And it's funny because I looked at this article, I read it, and then I thought, you know, I had spoken about this last year, and I did. I did a video, when was it? March 2017. And I think it was in response to John McCain saying that Rand Paul was a traitor, that he was dealing with the Russians. I said in the video, in this report, I cover geopolitics and cover Senator McCain's accusation that Senator Rand Paul is working for Putin for blocking the ascension of Montenegro into NATO. I uncover a connection between McCain, the Rothschild family, and Montenegro, and Mr. Deripaska. So I'll put this video up in the cards below in the description, so you can listen to that video. It's got almost 7,000 views, that video. Actually, yesterday when I saw the Zero Hedge article, I searched John McCain Montenegro on Google, and one of the things that came up right away was my video about you know, that I did last year, which is quite interesting. So what's Zero Hedge saying now? Well, Zero Hedge says Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska, a close associate of Vladimir Putin, has gone on record with The Hill's John Salomon admitting to colluding with Americans leading up to the 2016 U.S. election. Except it might not be what you're thinking. Deripaska, rumored to be Donald Trump's back channel to Putin via Russians' former association with Paul Manafort, says he colluded with the U.S. government between 2009 and 2016. Basically, Zero Hedge is saying that Deripaska has actually helped out Christopher Steele, also with the Trump-Russia, you know, the Steele dossier. And it goes on to say, Steele, a longtime associate of Orr's, worked for Deripaska between 2012 researching a business rival, work which would evolve to the point where the former British spy was interfacing with the Obama administration on his behalf. But it gets really interesting because with the John McCain connection, with the Obama connection, with the Steele connection, so Donald, you know, Oleg Deripaska has nothing to do with Trump. So let's go, and I'm taking sources like The Guardian, which is one of the sources that I used in my video last year. And the story is actually from 2008. And it says, Mendelsohn, Osborne, and McCain, question mark. Well, Peter Mendelsohn was a very important minister in the Tony Blair Labour government. George Osborne was Chancellor of the Exchequer, and he's a conservative or Tory. So there you go. You've got a Labour guy, a conservative guy, and you've got a Republican, you know, meeting together. And this was during the 2008 election campaign. It says the Republican nominee has his own ties to Oleg Deripaska. So it's amazing how it doesn't, you know, that's why it doesn't really matter who you vote for, Republican or Democrat. or labor or conservative. It might matter now that people voted for Trump, and that's why the deep state, the mainstream media, and the establishment is so triggered, right? So I'll read a little bit about this '08 article. And you'll like this because it's going to bring up another very important family that we talk about a lot. Okay, as the British media takes a closer look at the intertwined interest of Russian billionaire Oleg Deripaska, Lord Mandelson, well, he's a lord too now, and believe me, I don't believe in these titles, but I'm just reading this, and Shadow Chancellor George Osborne, so he wasn't even in the government at the time. Labour government was still in power in '08. We Americans can claim a bit part in the saga. The Nation reported earlier this month on Deripaska's encounters with John McCain and his campaign manager, Rick Davis. The most colorful scene from their dispatch takes place in August 2006 when McCain celebrated his 70th birthday on a luxury yacht moored in Montenegro. Sitting in the same bay was the Queen K, Deripaska's even posher yachts, where Osborne and Mandelson lived it up in August. McCain aides said no one could remember Deripaska attending McCain's yacht party, although the two men had crossed paths at a dinner for international guests celebrating Montenegrin independence, which the Republican presidential nominee has long supported. Deripaska was also a promoter of Montenegrin sovereignty, albeit mostly for business reasons. Well, Montenegro is an ex-Yugoslav republic. It's on the Adriatic, and a lot of big businessmen want to make it into like a kind of Monte Carlo of the Adriatic, but it's been fairly unstable as a nation. But I'll read further, right? Raffaello Falieri was certainly a fellow reveler of McCain's, although his 15 minutes of fame may have finally ended today with the sentencing to 54 months in prison. So yeah, John McCain was also meeting this this criminal. He went on his yacht, and you can see the photo there. He's trying to look, not too conspicuous. He's put a baseball cap on. He's like playing it, trying not to get photographed, it looks like. So I'll continue here because it gets more interesting. No evidence has emerged thus far to suggest that McCain helped further Deripaska's political or financial ends, other than a veiled hint from Davis cited the Nation about a joint business venture in a metals company that he represented. But one conservative watchdog group in the US went after McCain half a year ago for facilitating a fundraiser at the home of Nat Rothschild. Well, that's Nathaniel Rothschild. He's the son of Jacob, or Lord Rothschild, the Deripaska associate at the center of the Osborne-Mandelson row. Foreign donations, even in-kind contributions such as assistance raising money, are prohibited under American election law. The Rothschilds helped, held a fundraiser in London for John McCain for the 2008 elections. So you can see who is behind McCain, who's behind the Labor, who's behind the Democrats. They did the Steele dossier. No wonder they're going after Trump, right? The other interesting thing about Montenegro is that McCain especially and the deep state, they've been pushing Montenegro out of the sphere of influence of Russia, right? Because all these former Yugoslav republics, a lot of them are kind of in Russia's sphere of influence. So they're trying really hard to get this really tiny enclave or little country on the Adriatic to become the member of NATO. And at the time of my video last year, I was talking about how Rand Paul said, why do we need to support, defend Montenegro? But, we need to look at the money, right? Who was supporting John McCain? John McCain was, pushing for Montenegro to become part of NATO. And Montenegro, by the way, did become part of NATO in 2017, according to Wikipedia, and despite Russia's objections, right? But I want to read to you an article from the Globe and Mail from Canada. And this is from 2012, and it says, "A mogul's last big deal. Peter Monk to sell Montenegro Marina." So I'll read from this. Barrick Gold founder Peter Monk is selling his last significant investment, Porto Montenegro, the super yacht marina and resort that he built as a Mediterranean rival to Cannes, to Investment Court of Dubai, to undisclosed amount. But the interesting thing that it goes on to say as well is this here. Mr. Monk owns 52% of Port Montenegro's holding company. His co-investors include some of the world's wealthiest businessmen, among them Russian oligarch Oleg Deripaska, Lord Jacob Rothschild, the fourth Baron of the Rothschild banking dynasty, and Bernard Arnault, chairman and CEO of LVMH, the French luxury group that owns Hennessy, Louis Vuitton, and dozens other upscale brands. So here we have then the deep state, John McCain, the Rothschilds, Russian oligarchs, UK politicians on both sides, all colluding together to try to get NATO for Montenegro to join NATO, so it's protected, so that the investments of Deripaska, Rothschilds, and Monk become more valuable and protected. And they're all working, colluding together. And then we have also Deripaska working for the Obama administration or behind the scenes, helping out, friends with MI6 Steele, building up the Trump dossier all together. And it's strange because John McCain goes on about how the Russians are, bad, that we have to, he's always bashing Putin. But now you can understand it's got nothing to do with the fact that John McCain used to think that Russia was a threat. It's all to do about money. It's all to do about his support for the Rothschilds. So the Rothschilds come again into play. I thought this would be interesting just to show how these people, they're all connected, and it's all a game. They're all working together. McCain, Clinton, Osborne, Mandelson, it doesn't matter the political party, and that's why Donald Trump is a threat. Donald Trump, by meeting with Putin, is threatening these people. How much has John McCain pushed for Montenegro being part of NATO? A lot. So and so that's why that video I made last year was interesting, and now all this stuff coming out, because last year I think Rand Paul was trying to filibuster in the Senate the ascension of Montenegro into NATO. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Hopefully my viewers in the States are having a great Labor Day holiday. The markets will be open in Europe tomorrow, so I will be covering them. If you want to, see what's going on in Europe, there will be a video. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can also follow me on Steemit, DTube, and on Twitter. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.